Hello, everybody. Hang on a minute. Just walked in the door a couple minutes ago, so sorry for being a little late. Like I said, I just walked in the door. Walked in the door at a minute after. So, welcome to Rick's Tech Pub on a Friday, 17th of October. It's 2:02. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Me, it's been interesting. A lot of events that I went through this morning or things that I did this morning I don't really want to do again, but what the hell does that say? Oh, I wish they wouldn't make the rain so fucking. Yeah, I can't read it. Yeah, it's another windy day. I don't think I'll do any biking today. Yeah, it's very windy. Yeah, probably won't be going anywhere. Oh, hello, Charlie. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Ken. Hey, Ski Man. Good to see you again. Hello, Kim. Yeah, hope you're having a good Rick. Am I having a good day, you mean? Yeah. Hey, it's Friday. It's gotta be good. It's my kind of Friday today. It's sunny. It's a little bit warmer. It's not raining. It's a pretty good Friday. I'm going to spend my time with you guys and looking out the window and see blue skies instead of it raining last night, raining yesterday. Not a good day yesterday. Didn't get to do the things I wanted. Well, I did, but I think you guys know how it is biking in the rain. I did the first trip in the rain. The second one I called Wendy and I said, "You got some time to take me somewhere?" So I paid my, I don't know, yearly monthly dues with her. And she's not cheap either. She's wanting quite a bit of money to take me from one side of town to the other and back. It cost me quite a bit. So I just summed it all up for the month and just paid her a certain amount, which she was happy about. She didn't complain. I gave her enough that it'll keep her quiet this month. I know in about the 10th of next month she's gonna be, hey, where's that money? If you're gonna want me to say, yeah, just hang on. Where is it? I just saw it last week and it's not here. Don't you hate it when you're looking for something and you can't find it, and only 2 hours later you find it and you're not looking for it? That's the situation I'm in right now. I know it's on this desk, but I know if I walk away from it, come back, it's gonna be boom right in front of me. He's like, I was just looking for you. I know one thing I did find is this PCI slot to the covers in the back. I'm gonna put this one on this computer, and then I have I think I have one missing on there. Yeah, in fact, I know I do. I just can't remember if this one is to. Wait a minute. That's a 4000D. This is a 4000D. Why does this cover look different than it does on the other one in the bedroom? Why did they do that? Hang on. I have to look at the other this one, but design on this one where the holes are, and the one in the bedroom they're little V's. This is just round circles. I wonder where this came from. I don't know. Yeah, it's... Hello, MJ. Big Dog, no. I've got a better name than that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think sometimes glasses will help me find anything on this desk. Even though it's right in front of my nose. I had that. In fact, someone was over here the other day, and I couldn't find something. And she asked me, "What are you looking for?" I'm looking for that little. No, I can't find anything. But she came up to my desk. She went over here. She's like, "You talking about this?" Like, you son of... Oh, she could see something I couldn't. It was sitting right in front of my. She just walked over the desk, reached over, and she said, "Is this what you're looking for?" I hate it when that happens. I do not like it. She made a fool out of me. It's like, yeah, it take you 2 seconds to find it. I've been sitting here for 15 minutes and I couldn't find it, but I didn't look over far enough. And that's what she said. I didn't look far enough over to the right. Had I looked a little further over, I would have seen it. But I thought it was right in front of me in this area, so I just kind of looked right in this area where the monitor is, and in front of the monitor, I thought it was right up here. No, I was taking everything off the desk. I had a whole bunch of this stuff on there, and I just took everything off and put it over on the shelf, and I still couldn't find it, so I put everything back. That's about when she walked in and said, "What are you looking for?" "I'm looking for that little blue something." I told her, and she said, "Oh, you mean this?" And she picks it up right. I thought, oh. So, yeah, I'm still trying to clean my desk. I never really got the chance to do that when I said I was going to. Yeah, yeah, it wasn't the last place, and it wasn't the first place. It's just a place I hadn't looked at all. Because, like I said, I thought it was right in front of me. It was off to the right and back further. And I'd show you guys, but I'd have to take my thing and turn it. But uh, then I'm getting other requests from people around the area telling me I should get a new desk. This thing is actually too big for me. It's too big for the apartment, actually. I need something shorter and not as tall. Well, I don't want something shorter and not as tall. I want something not as tall, but it needs to be about the length and the width that it is. The height, yeah, it could come down a little bit, but the length and the width, that needs to stay the same. But yeah, it could be a little shorter in height, but it works for me. But there's a lot of people walk in here and they say, "Wow, such a big desk and such a small apartment." See, yeah, I know. I screwed up when I bought this thing. I didn't. Well, that's the same thing I did with this hide a bed couch thing. Not hide a bed, but rocker recliner, whatever you call it. When I looked in the store, that looked a lot smaller than what it was. Because they get it over here and they put it. It's just so big. Well, I'm such a small apartment that that couch rocker recliner is too big for this apartment, and this desk, even though it works, is a little bit too tall. But then I wouldn't have the shelf height that I have, so we're still working on redesigning this. We're still thinking of what to do, but nobody's coming up with any ideas. I've asked people on the internet. I've sent out about 30 pictures over the internet on this desk, and nobody. All I'm getting back is just question marks because they don't know. I've asked them, what would you guys do with this desk if you had it? Nobody in America knows. I've asked about 25 different people, and they say, I don't know. I don't know what would you do with something that big. See, that's everybody's problem. It's so damn big. It's big, but I like it. I don't know. If America wins, like they're saying, I just might end up getting rid of it and getting something smaller. Because a lot of people are telling me that's just too big of a desk in a 400 square foot apartment. It's too big. Don't need that much room for a computer. Yeah, but I need the shelf. That's why I got the hutch, because I like the shelves in it. But they're telling me get rid of the top part, keep the bottom part is what they would do. I thought of that too, but then again, we go back to what do I do with the shelf space? I don't know. I'm still hung up on that, so I probably will do nothing with it because I'm not good at making up my mind. People will tell me, make up your freaking mind. Give me a couple of days. They just walk away from me. They won't wait a couple of days for me to make up my mind. But I'm very, very slow at my thinking process. I always have been, so for me to think of something new to do with this probably isn't going to come to me. It's probably going to just stay the way it is. Yeah, that would work, but here in this building, we're not allowed to do that. We can't put a jar out and just be asking for money. We can't do that here. There have been people kicked out for doing that because you can't be doing soliciting or do soliciting yourself. So, asking for money in this building will get you an eviction notice. I know people have gotten evicted for doing that. You know, this HRA up here is very, 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 very strict. Well, we don't have the problems that we used to. Not since Kathy became in charge of the office. She clamped down on everything. You won't be doing this, this, or that. Just no more. So, there's a lot more don'ts in this building than do's. And I can't really stand high air. Yeah, I know, it's just a joke, but still on the other side of your joke, it's not really a joke because yeah, I could do that and yeah, I'd be walking the streets. There's a lot of things that we just can't do in here anymore because of the problems. And we don't have Christmas parties here. We won't have a Halloween party this year. We usually do. No Thanksgiving this year. Um, I'll be home for Thanksgiving, except that I don't think they're doing the Thanksgiving dinners this year like we usually do. Because we would have heard about it by now. Because they usually send a notice about that a month or so ahead of time. And this month we've got Halloween. Next month we've got Thanksgiving, I think. I don't know. Holidays, they get me all confused. I don't keep track of them. But I just know we're getting day by day. We're getting every day we get closer to seeing the white stuff, and that's usually around Thanksgiving. Usually we start seeing flurries about 3 or 4 days before Thanksgiving, or we get a couple inches a couple days before Thanksgiving. Then we get another 6 or 7 inches a couple days after Thanksgiving, if we have our typical winter. That's how it'll go. It'll get maybe an inch before, a couple days before Thanksgiving. And then the 2 or 3 days after, we'll get a winter storm. We'll get nailed with about 8 or 9 inches. But the way the winters have been working lately is there's no snow until last year. We really didn't have any snow until after Thanksgiving, which was nice. It gave me a couple days extra to be outside because it was rather warm last winter. It was like around this time a year last year. It was warm. This year, I think Mother Nature is throwing a little bit of reality at us. It's colder, it's windier. It's just kind of reminding us, get ready for winter, because what I'm going to throw at you this winter, you ain't going to like. And from what I've heard on the Almanac and the weather forecasters on YouTube, winter for the 5-state area around Minnesota is not going to be friendly. I thought winter last year was kind of bad. Well, wait till this winter. Well, that's what they're saying. They say that every year. Is that our winters are going to get worse and worse, and the summers are going to get worse and worse, and the more storms. But I don't know. Winter last year wasn't all that bad. Could have been a little better, but wasn't terribly bad. It was a typical winter. There, 2 weeks of below zero winter weather, and I didn't step outside but maybe twice out of that 2 weeks where it stayed at like 10 below during the day in a sunny day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was like 10 below. I wasn't stepping out in that. No. And people were asking me to, oh, Rick, just step outside for like 2 minutes. Like, no. Chicken shit? Yes. I don't like the cold weather. I just don't. So 80% of this building gets stuck inside for about 2.5 weeks until that cold snap gets over with. And it's about 2 weeks, maybe 12 days. No, what I meant, no Thanksgiving, is there's going to be no Thanksgiving in my building. We usually, well, let's go back like 5 years. 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I can't remember exactly. Well, it was before COVID started. So it was 2019. I think the last Thanksgiving dinner we had on second floor, I think was in 2018, I think. Because that's about the time that our whole resident council committee started falling apart. Um, it's a building run by the residents. The office just kind of makes sure things stay in line, but we don't have that anymore. We don't have a resident council. So that meant all of our activities, they usually went through the resident council, everything got canceled. No Thanksgiving, no Halloween parties, no Christmas parties, no holiday parties at all anymore. In this building, I'm not saying everywhere else you can have Thanksgiving parties and whatever, but just in this building, they canceled everything. Especially after the pandemic. The HRA just shut everything down. After I came back from Arizona in 2019, and I was starting to hear about the pandemic that was starting to catch up with us, it was just about then that HRA just shut everything down. They said no more parties, no more gatherings, no more nothing. They really never did go back to it either. And I don't think they're going to. So it gets kind of boring and lonely around here on the holidays because we don't have the fun here that we used to. We used to have parties and non-alcoholic parties and but it used to be a lot funner living here than what it is today. Because we've had problems with the other resident council and people couldn't get along. People couldn't make up their minds. So the office kind of just stepped in and said, okay, we're stopping everything. And they did. So 60, see, man, being that you said that, 64. Yeah, there goes YouTube just showing up on the studio. Why does it do that? Oh, concurrent viewers, I've got 9. Thank you, guys, and 5 likes. 10. Okay, who just joined? The 10th person just showed up. I don't know, I don't see anybody new. Uh, well, 90 and 1921. Yeah, that is a little bit warm for 64 in your area. Let's see what it is in mine. I think we're in the 50s, maybe 60s. It'd be warmer than that. It feels like it's going to be warmer than that. We're 65. We're going to hit 70 today, I think. Let's see what the weather forecast actually says. I don't think we'll get close to 70s, but I think we'll be flirting with it. No, we're only going to go up 2 more degrees. 67. A high of 59 degrees tomorrow. 57 on Sunday, 58 on Monday. Tuesday, the 21st. The high is going to be 49 degrees. That's cold. I get cold at 70 degrees, so I told that to some of my friends, and I was on third floor last night visiting people. I told Jerry and those guys, I said, I get cold at 70 degrees. They all looked at me and said, you're kidding. I said, no, 70 degrees to me is cold. I don't really get warm till it's closer to like 75, 77. Then I'm comfortably warm. So, yeah, I like the warmer weather than the cold. I always have. I always have liked the warmer. I don't like the 90s and humid, but 75, 80 degrees, that's not going to bother me any. It's my best biking weather. When you get up towards the 90s and getting in close to like 95, I'll be sitting in front of my air conditioner. I'll be sitting in front of the air conditioner. I won't move. Not when it's that hot out. 80 in Arizona and dropping. That's... Yeah, usually Arizona's pretty warm at this time of year. So our warm weather here in Minnesota is slowly coming to an end. And from now till May, I'll try to stay in a good mood, but I just don't like wintertime. Puts me in a mood I don't like being in. Because it's cold out, it's 20 below and windy, and I want to be outside and I can't be. That really pisses me off when I can't do that. I want to be outside and I can't be. I mean, I can be, but not at 20 below. And also during the day, when it's 5 or 10 below at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, nice and sunny. Looks beautiful and warm from the inside, but you get quickly reminded how cold it is the minute you step. The second you step outside, you turn back around, you walk right back in. I do that a lot. It'll look so nice outside. It looks like a wonderful day. It couldn't be 5 below. I walk outside and I turn right back around and walk back in. It's like, not 5 below, huh? It is. I just didn't think it was that cold. It looked nice. It looked like a nice warm day. So I walked outside in just a thin jacket. Big mistake. It was cold. It just didn't look like it from here. Looked like a nice, warm, beautiful day. Nope. You got hit by storms last week that tanked the temps. Yeah, I think Mr. Gary Holzman was saying that Arizona is getting a lot of rain this year, more than they've gotten in the past years. So Arizona might have a wet winter. And they don't really have winter, but in the winter months for here in Minnesota, down there, they're going to be warmer. But I'm going to have more rain, I think. Which I'm sure you wouldn't mind, because in the summertime, you guys don't get a drop of rain. Well, you do every once in a while, but mostly from what I hear from Kerry Holzman, it's just boiling hot in the summer. Well, Kerry, if it bothers you that much, move the heck out of Minnesota or Arizona. I think he's tried to. He's tried to go back to Arizona. Or not Arizona, but Michigan. I don't think he's going to get there. I think he's trapped in Arizona. Every time he tries to get away from that state, something pulls him right back. So I do wish him the best of luck in getting out of Arizona, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And he may have given up by now because of the price of the cost of housing down in Arizona or Michigan. It's expensive. A lot more expensive than what he was thinking. He thought it'd be easy finding a house. He's finding out the hard way that it's not. Oh, hello, Jeff. I had an apartment gone into Western Colorado University. He said it got up to 0 degrees in the winter Everyone went outside in t-shirts. When it's 0 degrees and they go outside in just t-shirts, they're braver than I am. I'd be 2 jackets, gloves, hat. Like I said, I don't like the cold, guys. I really don't. But I committed people, I committed my business to staying in Minnesota. I still take phone calls in the wintertime. As I say, I just won't step outside, but phone, text support, I'll do. But don't be asking me to step outside when it's 20 below and windy. I had one guy that did ask me, and he was just about a half mile from here. And he said, I'll pay you $30 for just walking over here. Like, it wasn't 20 below. It was like 15. Yeah, I think it was like close to 15 degrees below zero. Like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He'd run out of options. Nobody else would help him. And he said, I'll pay you $30 to walk over here. Like, really? 30? Plus what I'm going to charge you for being, plus what you're going to... I walked over there. Froze my ass off. That was a cold walk. That was a very cold walk, but he gave me a ride home. Because I walked into his living room, my mustache was all full of ice. My goatee that I had ice chunks hanging off of it. And he said, I'm going to give you a ride home. I didn't think it'd be that bad out there. And I said, yeah, look at the ice chunks. Yeah, I see it. Just stand there for like 5 minutes and defrost. I only spent maybe 25 minutes on fixing his issue. Just a couple of things. One of them he didn't really understand, so I helped him understand it. The more I tried to help him understand it, the more questions he came up with. I'm like, how can I say this so he stops asking me questions? So I finally came up with a statement. I said it, and it shut him up. And he said, well, I think we're done. You want to ride home? It's like, yeah. So I packed up my things, zipped it up, and he brought me home. I just knew he was going to start asking me question after question after question after question unless I stopped him, and what I said stopped him. Because he was on his, 15th question in 3 minutes. I said, no, I got to stop him somehow. And I couldn't think of something until I thought, well, what if I said... So I said it kindly, politely, and it stopped him. He looked at me and said, well, ready to go home? I said, yeah. It's just his questions weren't getting him anywhere. He was just kind of going around the same block over and over. And I kind of asked him when he was bringing me home. I said, what were you driving at when you were asking me all those questions? Said, well, I don't know. It was just... He really didn't know. He was hoping I'd tell him something that he really hadn't... I don't know. He said I was driving at something, but he wasn't getting there. When I told him what I said, that kind of stopped him in his tracks. He just figured there's no sense in asking questions, so he just brought me home instead. Oh. Jeff's got a link on how to set up with a local account after the new changes. Yeah, I might have to watch that because I know there's going to be people there. Well, Microsoft did it again. They've extended... I talked about this yesterday, but they've extended the antivirus. They've extended that for another year, so they're kind of telling everybody to get off Windows 10, but they certainly aren't giving anybody incentive to get off Windows 10. They extended support for Windows 11 or Windows 10. Now the antivirus got extended for ever. They're not. Well, I think they said they were going to shut it off for Windows 10 in 2028. I think that's what they said. They'll shut the antivirus on Windows 10 off in 2028. I'm thinking, why are you waiting that long? Why didn't you just shut it off tomorrow? Because they want to keep people on Windows 10. Even though they're begging everybody to go to Windows 11, they're also kind of giving people incentive to stay on Windows 10 because they won't shut off the antivirus. That's the first thing they should have done. They didn't. I don't know. Microsoft digs their own hole. I'm not going to worry about it. They're just going to be bitching about the same thing. There's more users on Windows 10 than there is 11. Well, if you shut off Windows 10, people would float over to Windows 11, but you won't do that. And now you just extended support again for the antivirus. So why should people leave Windows 10 at this point if you're going to keep doing that? You're not giving anybody incentive to get off of it. You're giving incentive to stay on it if you're going to keep the antivirus going. Stupid mistake, Microsoft. Stupid mistake. You shouldn't have done that. I kind of understand why you did, but at this point in time, why? But do as you will. I'm not going to stop you, but if you really want people off Windows 10, pull all the support for it. That'll force everybody over to Windows 10, but you're not doing it, so stop complaining about everybody being on Windows 10 and not going over to 11. I think by now you know why they're not going over to 11. You know exactly why they're not. I do, and I'm not going to tell you, but like I said, Microsoft is not giving anybody any incentive to get off Windows 10 at this point. Which is a mistake on their own, but Microsoft is Microsoft. They're going to do what they want when they want, and I find it funny that they keep saying that they're starting to listen to what we're complaining about. Yeah, they might be listening, but they're not doing anything. They say, oh yeah, we're listening, we hear you. We're just not going to do anything about it. Well, then why? Okay. Then I'll get off my soapbox about Windows. I'll start bitching about it for hours, and then I'll get pissed off, and then you guys will really hear how I feel about it, and I don't want you guys to hear that. It is not something I want to say on YouTube. I will get kicked off of it. YouTube is a fan of Microsoft, so if I start insulting their friends at Microsoft, then YouTube more than likely is just going to bat me out of the way, say go find something else to do. I won't say too much about it, but I don't like what they're doing. Yeah, I don't know why they want them on Windows 10, Jeff. I mean, then I don't know why they came out so soon with Windows 11 if they want everybody to stay on Windows 10. It doesn't make any sense to me. If they want people on Windows 11, then move everybody to 11. Drop Windows 10. And I will always say that for the rest of my life. Windows 10 should, if they wanted to stick around, then push everybody back to Windows 10. If they want people off Windows 10, put them on 11, then drop support for Windows 10. They don't want to do that, so... But every version that we go up, I say the same thing. When they said that about Windows 7, they were going to cut off support or end Windows 7. And then they did the same thing back then. They said, put everybody on Windows 7, even though they're going to come out with Windows 8 or whatever it was in between them. I just didn't understand what they were doing with that either. It just doesn't make any sense. The extension of support. It's a bad idea to me. Because to me, it sends the wrong message. They want me on Windows 11, but they're not killing the support for Windows 10, so guess what? I think I'll just stay on Windows 10. Well, then... I don't know. You guys might understand it better than I do, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm still sitting here looking for things on my desk, which I'll find it eventually. Yeah, your phone has a mind of its own. That's why it's called a smartphone. I'll get back to you on that. Thank you for switching subjects because people keep calling everything smart. Well, what makes something smart? I've never really understood their philosophy on a smartphone, smart TV. I guess because of all the apps it has. I don't know. Can do kind of TV. If it's that smart, like they say they think it is, the TV can't do 2 plus 2 and equal 4. I don't know why they call it smart. What other word would they come up with it? Instead of calling it a smart TV, what other name would they come up with it? So I guess they're kind of stuck with that name. The name that really didn't make any sense to me. I mean, many years ago, and I started hearing about these smart TVs. I was asking everybody back then, what makes them smart? Are they smarter than us? I don't think so. Well, I said that 10 years ago. That pissed off America. They did not like me saying that. Things are smarter than us? No, I don't think so. The same thing with this AI crap that's coming out nowadays. There's just a lot of things that Microsoft is doing that I'm not really a big fan of. And no, I'm not going to switch to Linux or a Mac OS, but Microsoft's just doing things that I think they should do differently. But who's going to listen to me? Microsoft sure as hell won't. I could tell them till I'm blue in the face. You should probably do this, this, and this, and then drop everything else. They won't do that. I say drop support for everything in the past and just keep support for Windows 11. Well, why should we do that? Because you're giving mixed messages. You want people yet to go back on Windows 10, but you still have Windows 11. Which one do you want them on? 2 operating systems? That's what you're going to get. Unless you completely kill support for Windows 10. And that's just my thoughts. Right now, I think an Acorn is smarter. Oh, Ken, you make me laugh. Where do you get the idea that an Acorn has any more smarts than you do? Acorn is just an acorn. That's all it is. But yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just being a smart ass about it. Oh, I wish I could find things that I'm looking for. Or did I? Nope. My organizational skills are not the best yet, but I get by with what I do. But everybody else tells me, how can you find anything in this mess? Like, mess? Where do you see a mess at? Where's the mess? Point it to me. I mean, in your drawer. How can you find anything in there? Like, oh, well, I don't. I have to go digging for everything. And it takes me about 5 minutes to find something in this small little drawer. I'm talking about, this ain't gonna work. That drawer right there. This here used to be a lot fuller than what it is now. I emptied everything out of it. It used to be stacked up to about there. It used to be that full, and I took everything out of it. Because I couldn't find anything, and I still can't find anything. So I give up. It'll show up one of these days. Ski Man's responding to a text. Did you get hit in the head by... Smartphones are smarter than a few people I know. Yeah. Okay, now I know I asked that question to get hit by one, and I went back up to his comment earlier at Acorn. Oh my god, it's 2:42 already. You guys, I gotta go. You guys should start telling me when it's 2:30 and telling me to get off YouTube and stop this live stream. I'm trying to keep these to a half hour, but you know me, I start talking and I won't shut up. So, I am gonna end it though, because I got other things I want to do before I want to take a sneak peek at Carrie's show today, and if it's not anything interesting or if he's not doing anything but just standing there and talking, I think that's what he's going to do today. It's just stand there and talk live stream. So I probably won't stick around for that, but I really don't want to go out fighting the wind either. So I don't know. Oh, guess who's here and guess who's late? He just showed up with a whole bunch of highs. Yeah, hello, Darren. I'm going to be saying goodbye here, but thank you for stopping by. He's number three. Why in the hell is He-Man with a red... Oh, I know what he's doing that for. So, I'm going to say goodbye today, guys. It has been fun, as always. I like talking to you guys. It gives me somebody to chat with, somebody to talk to, so I'm just not talking to a dead camera. But in this case, it's my webcam, but... Darren, the fastest fingers in the UK. I don't know. That depends on what his words per minute on typing is. But more than likely, Darren types like I do. Finger pecks. I can't type and look away from the keyboard. I have to search for every letter that I'm looking for. It's like L's over here, and then the T is over here. Then I hit the T, and then S is over. S is there, and that's how I type. That's why it takes me forever to write a sentence out, because I can never memorize where the keys are on the keyboard, so I have to look for each one every time. And the O, the P, the S, the D, the X, the B. I have to go searching for those. I can't just automatically, boom, find it. I have to go looking for it. Keyboards aren't that big, but I still have to go around the keyboard twice to say the B. There it is. I'm not a good typist, but it's better than me writing. You guys wouldn't be able to read my handwriting. So with that, I'm going to get going, guys. We'll see. Oh, God, I got a lot of people saying hi, and I got to... Ski Man, Jeff Ryman, Ken Stout, Darren. Jeff Ryman. MJ. And again, MJ, thank you for being here today. It's nice to see you once in a while. Charlie Perney and Kim. Thank you, everyone. What's Kim's? Oh, Auntie M. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Huh? Okay. I'll catch up with him later and try to get an explanation for that, because I don't understand. Oh. It just dawned on me what today is. Today is Friday, so there will not be a live stream tomorrow, because I'll be watching Doug Betts tomorrow. It will be a live stream on Sunday. Same time, same place. Same bad channel. So with that, guys, I'll see everybody on Sunday. Hope everybody has a good weekend, and I'll catch you all later. Bye for now.